If you make a fear-based decision for your life, then all you can get is scary results. We are going to make more money this year than we've ever made in business. And we are gonna help more people this year than we've ever been able to help. And it is gonna be the best year. Everyone does not deserve a conversation before you say goodbye. It is what it is.
Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Speak Get Ready Cash podcast. Before we get started, I want you to do me a favor. If you're feeling this episode, drop a comment, share it with somebody that you know and love. Help us spread the word about what we're doing here, because today's episode is one of them ones that you're gonna need your pen and paper. We are talking about the 5 strategies that we're doubling down on in order to hit our $5 million year in 2025. Now, here's the thing, right? In 2024, I learned something crucial about myself, and it's big, okay, y'all? I learned that I can scale a company while prioritizing rest. Now, for some of you who are self-care warriors, this means nothing. But from all my recovering workaholics, tap in. Because in 2023, Q4 took me for a ride. Now, Q4, for those of you who are like, what is Q4? That's just the last 3 months of the year in our company, right? And so the year, 12 months, every quarter is 3 months. I say that because we have business owners that are just starting and those who've been in this a while who may not know what that word means. But Q4 is the last 3 months of the year. And the last 3 months of 2023 took me for a ride. Go back to my YouTube videos from January of this year and I kind of talk about it. But I decided the end of 2023, I started off 2024 with taking a sabbatical. I took a sabbatical this year as well. It's a game changer. I'm never not doing it, right? But I really decided that if growing my business was going to cost me my peace, I'm not growing my business. And it was so intense of a decision, you guys, that honestly, can we be 100% real here, or I gotta keep like a mask on for y'all? Honestly, 2024, we took a bit of a haircut on our revenue. Ooh. I know that business coaches aren't supposed to say that. I know that successful people aren't supposed to say that. We had a year where we lost money. We were down about 15%. Now, here's tea though. Here's tea though. Our profitability went up by 15%, but our overall revenue went down by about 15%. That's crazy, 15% both ways. So we made less top line revenue, meaning overall cash coming in was less, but we made more in terms of the money that we kept, our net profit. But it showed me that I could still be a multi-million-dollar business and prioritize rest because, baby, I played tennis this year. I went on date nights every chance I got. I lived my best life. I didn't miss a Sunday of church if I was in town. Shout out to Change in Atlanta. I hung out with my girlfriends. I developed new friends. I had such a good year. I wasn't thinking about business all the time. Me and Chris had great time together. Y'all know what that means. Okay, don't act like y'all don't know. We married, okay? We had great time together. Me and my daughter did so many mommy-daughter dates. Like, I felt free, light, and at peace. When my friends were around me, they were like, I don't know, there's just something different about you. I was like, shout out to the Holy Ghost, but also shout out to prioritizing rest. And so I assumed, because one thing I didn't do this year is I wasn't as intent on checking my numbers, which is another like big faux pas. I checked my numbers, but I wasn't digging into the numbers like I should have been. And so the end of 2024, I really dug into my numbers and I realized something, you didn't do as bad as you thought you did, sis. Like, literally, here's what I recognized. We were down 15% in revenue from 2024, which in 2023, which in that year we did $2.6 million in revenue. This year we were down about 15% from that. But here's the number that mattered, because I started thinking that we were down in revenue because of the market, because, people weren't buying as much, like all of this fear-mongering stuff, which really wasn't even the case. The reason why our revenue took a 15% hit had nothing to do with the market. Now, lean in if you're a business owner and you are blaming your lack of revenue on the market. It had nothing to do with the market. You want to know what number told me why we were down so much? Our Facebook ad spend. In 2023, I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how much we spent on ads. I'm gonna give y'all the exact number. Now, every time I give numbers, I'm not making income claims. I'm telling y'all my story. That's my disclaimer. I'm not saying you're gonna be rich if you work with me. I'm not trying to trick you into buying anything. You know, you gotta say all that nowadays. I know that we spent over $250,000 on ads in 2023. Now, what we found, we back up. We back up. We back up. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna do the custom date range. In 2023, that year, here's what we spent on advertising, right? $271,837.40, okay? So that's what we spent on advertising in 2023. Now I'm gonna tell you what we spent on advertising, paid advertising in 2024. $186,670.58. So we spent a little over $100,000 less, if I'm remembering my numbers correctly. That's why we was down 15%. The fact is, because we spent $100,000 less, I'm shocked we weren't down 40%, okay? But I think that just goes to us having a strong community. We did increase our organic content, even though we decreased our advertising. So that's what we were able to do. And I was telling myself these narratives that was external. I'm just being real with y'all. Like, for my clients out there, y'all know I'm real. Y'all know I keep it 100 with you. You know that I tell you my successes, and even when we don't do everything right. And so I want to share this because I think there's some people who externalize their problems when really it was just based on the numbers. It wasn't the devil. It was the ad spend. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't spend enough money on ads. And one of the things that I saw in my numbers, because I looked at, we track every single launch we do in Speak Your Way to Cash. We have one Google sheet and it tracks every single launch, how many people bought upsells, how many people showed up. We track all our numbers. So I went back and looked at every single launch we did in 2024. And the trend that I saw, and then I'm gonna get to the 5 things we're doubling down on, but y'all wanna get this, right? The trend that I saw in our launches was this: fear. Fear. And although I was telling myself, I'm not gonna do all that because I'm prioritizing rest, the truth is, another way I could have said that sentence, I'm not gonna do all that because I'm prioritizing rest. Another way I could have said that sentence was, I'm scared that if I grow this company, I will hurt myself. And that's fear. And one of the things that I'm very clear on is that I believe very strongly, and I know this, that I am anointed to help millions upon millions upon millions of women. Shout out to the men. But I know that I'm supposed to help millions upon millions upon millions of women who right now are sitting in a job, corporate job. They look successful on the outside. Everything is right. They're married. They got the house. They got the car. They have the job they want. But they don't feel like there's any way out because they take care of too many people. They make too much money at work. They don't think they can leave and do something on their own. They have this like flicker of a desire in their heart, but they're not really living out that desire. And so they go to work every day and they look successful and no one sees the pain in their eyes. I'm called to her. I know that there are millions of hers. I know that I have a very unique way of coaching and strategizing and coordinating business efforts on behalf of my clients such that I can speak directly to the highly educated, highly successful, but secretly desiring more woman. And if I truly believe that, then I would do everything in my power, obviously absent sacrificing myself, right? I would do everything in my power reasonably to reach her. But when fear creeps in, and when you have a life event like I've had, where there's been public embarrassment, where people have betrayed you, where things didn't look like they were supposed to look, where your mind betrayed you, it's easy to start operating out of fear and just hiding it under the mask of self-care. Now, I'm not saying don't have self-care. I'm saying, for me, this is my experience. Y'all argue in the chat on something else, but if you could feel me, drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? So what I saw in my marketing efforts, what I saw in the launches that I chose to do, is that I chose to do a lot smaller, more intimate launches. And yes, it built community, but it was smaller because I felt safer in smaller places because I was healing. Now, I think healing is important. My year last year, y'all, was so good to my spirit. It was so good to my soul that I don't even know, even though I have this revelation, I don't even know if I'd want to go back and change anything, right? I do think there are some times where you may need to take a break, but I am saying when I looked at my launches and I looked at my numbers and I analyzed what it was, I had a realization and a revelation at that point that I was making business decisions from a place of fear. And if you make a fear-based decision for your life, then all you can get is scary results. And I decided that I no longer want to do that. But then when I looked at my top line number, and I'm like, we still made multiple millions of dollars. I looked at the top line number and I was like, well, baby, you was chilling. And I did all these different launches last year, but I remained in a perpetual state of peace. And then a scripture came to my mind. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, right? Which means you can endure all things. But another is like, maybe I can't do everything, but God can do anything. And so if my desire is peace, if my desire is to keep my family first, if my desire is to keep God first, if my desire is to keep my health a priority, and my desire is to scale a company, and my desire is to help millions of women to live the life of their dreams so that we can go out and make the world a better place, and if my desire is to raise my daughter and she knows my name and I'm at every event, it may seem like I can't do it, but if I serve a God that literally created heaven and earth, he can do it. And so maybe that means that I just need to do it, but not out of my own strength, but out of his strength and out of his wisdom. Because last year we made that money, we did good, we increased profit by 15%, and I was in a perpetual state of peace. So it proved that I can scale this company smart, wise, with the right team, and it does not have to take me out. And 80% of our mastermind renewed, so there we go. I think it was like 79 point something%. So our high-end clients are loving it and they're staying around, which I love. So that was great. And I just served great women. I feel like God sent me the best clients in the world last year and this year. We just have such an incredible group. It literally feels like luxury whenever I'm around my clients because that's just how it is. But that was like my long backstory, okay, to get y'all to what I'm about to do this year. So this year, your girl is back, okay? Your girl is ready. Do you see this long hair? Like, I ain't never had hair this long. I was like, I'm outside, okay? I'm outside in 2025. I got my long hair in. I've already taken my sabbatical by the time y'all have seen this video. And so I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to grow. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the 5 growth strategies. I'm getting excited. If y'all already drop 5 in the comments. I know this ain't live, but we gonna act like it's live. I wanna see who's paying attention. And y'all know I read every comment, so go on and drop your comments as you're watching it. As you're watching it, something comes up for you that you like, I want you to drop it in the comments. And y'all know I took notes because I already went on a tangent, okay? If you're new to these solo episodes, just get into it. We at home, okay? Literally. Okay, strategy 1. We are doubling down on an elite, high-touch client experience. What does this mean? We hired a consultant. It was a customer experience consultant. Ooh. So the customer experience consultant gave us advice on how we can enhance the customer experience of our programs. What that looks like is tracking our clients' movements and then doing something with the data in real time. We implemented a system where now our program manager sends me a daily report of touch points with all of our clients in our membership and in our mastermind. We have a program and a process for now tracking the results of our mastermind and reaching out to them a little bit more. So just being more high touch with our clients. We're thinking of innovative ways to really make people who come through our launches and get VIP and platinum feel even more special. We want to be a part of the best moments of our clients' lives. When something happens, like they get married or they land a large contract, we want to be there cheering them on. And unfortunately, when something happens like they lose someone, we want to be there encouraging them, making sure that we send them something to show that we're thinking about them. So we want to know. So another thing, if you're a client and you're watching this and you're like, something happened in my life and no one was there for me, did we know? Let us know, because we do want to be there for you. And honestly, I think that it just comes back to realizing that my business is a business that requires a high level of human touch. Now, for the scalability of that looks like us getting a really good system around those touch points so that they're tracked, so that they can scale, so that we have good data in our CRMs, so that we can automate what we can, so that we can, like, there's ways to do this and leverage automation and still be high touch and still let people know that you care for them. But some of it is gonna be a real person picking up the phone, right? A real person answering their calls, answering their emails. And the only way that this has gotten done in our company is by us implementing a daily tracking system. So the team who's on this, every day I'm getting a report. Hey, this is how many posts in the group. We've already responded to all of them. Hey, I went and did touch points with this client. Hey, you should know about this client. She's struggling with this. Hey, this answer really didn't give this client what they need. Like really being involved in the nitty gritty of what we provide, which is sales training. And people are gonna hit blocks. Like if you are pitching and you're in the Pitch Your Way to Cash membership, which if you're not and you wanna be, comment pitch and somebody will respond with the details. But like if you're in that membership and you're pitching to corporate and you've been pitching for 60 days and all of a sudden you realize that, dang, none of these pitches are getting answered, we want to know and we want to help, right? And we also want to ensure that people aren't getting lost in just the mundaneness of business. Doing this YouTube video, this is fun for me. Like, I love this. But this is not what I do every day, which is why we have a whole category on this page that y'all really don't be watching, but y'all should check out. It's called Behind the Build. So you can see more of what day-to-day looks like. It's literally not all glamorous. It's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of behind the scenes. It's a lot of coordination. I'm still very involved in my business. I don't have a business where there's a laptop and a beach every day. I mean, I don't, you know what I mean? And so I really do, I work most days. We have some balance, but I work most days. So we have to be high touch. We're in the people business. Coaching is a people business. Consulting is a people business. Advising is a people business. And when you work with small business owners, those being companies under 25 million, they are going to need a little bit more of that accountability and human touch. And so that's what we're doubling down on. Number 2, high impact virtual launches, okay? So really what we want to do is 3 things here. We want to ensure that we have a minimum of 5,000 people registered for each of our virtual launches. So in February, when you all are seeing this video, the event that we have the end of this month is the Your First Corporate Offer 2-day summit. It's incredible. I will put the link in the show notes here, but you should 100% register. We help you build out your $25,000 corporate offer in 1 day. On day 2, we talk about implementing that offer and getting that offer to the people that you want it to be to, the people who can pay you, right? And so it's a 2-day summit, very, very good, very, very actionable, but we want to ensure that we increase our registration. Our registration typically is anywhere on the low end, 1,000, on the high end, 2,000, 2,500. There's like 1 or 2 times we've gotten to 3,000, 3,500. We want to amp it up to 5,000 and then 10,000. And just so you guys know, if you have 5,000 people registered, like if we have 5,000 people registered with our show up rate, we should be able to get 1,000 people on Zoom. If we have 10,000 people registered with our show up rate, you know what I mean? We should be able to get, on the low end, on the low end, 2,000 people on Zoom. On the lowest end, probably 1,500 people on Zoom. On the highest end, maybe like 3,000 people on Zoom. So the way it works, if it's a free event, people register, they don't always show up. Now, if y'all register, y'all show up. Show me, prove me wrong. But the way industry data works is not everyone shows up. So we have to increase our registration of high quality leads so that we can increase our sales on the back end. And on the back end of our offers, we sell, you know, the Pitch Your Way to Cash membership, we sell other things along the way. But it's really important to me because this year we have a goal of getting 1,000 people in the Pitch Your Way to Cash membership so that I can fulfill our overall company's mission of helping 1,000 experts to land $1 million in speaking, coaching, and consulting contracts by the year 2040, if not before. But we did set that goal, right? And that means people are landing contracts all along the way in our programs, but that's our big, big, big goal as a company is we want to do that. I think it would really change the game. And then when you serve corporate clients, unlike individual clients, if you serve Coca-Cola and you do a good job, they'll just renew that contract. Like it's more likely that they will consistently renew that contract for you to continue to do that work because no one wants to onboard new vendors, right? So that's our big goal is like to have those launches, double down on our virtual launches, do at least 1 a month, but have 5,000 people registered. A sub goal is to get something evergreen going so that we don't have to live launch. Now, if you come to any of our events, y'all, it's a virtual event. So it's live, it's energy, we in the chat, we talking. It's not, I don't really reuse that footage, right? I don't reuse that footage on evergreen, so to speak, because there's so much live interaction that it could be distracting on the replay. Now, this year, we're gonna build out some evergreen assets. We have 1 evergreen asset right now, but we wanna build out and test a real evergreen funnel. Now, evergreen just means there are ads, dollars that are running to this every single day of the week. You can watch it on demand whenever you meet me, and at any given time, someone can be watching that asset. It will require us putting ad money to testing that asset. Now, live typically converts better than evergreen. There are things you can do to close that gap. But overall, that's about how that works. So right now we do live. We want to get something evergreen just so that, it'll be a little bit easier for us to have evergreen sales, because who wants to be tied to live all the time? So this year we're exploring that and looking at that as an opportunity, okay? The other thing, we got to spend more money on ads. So we want to do our first single campaign where we spend over $100,000 on one campaign. So I told you guys we spent $170,000 almost all year in 2024. Now we want to up that to spend that money on one campaign. This is going to do a couple of things. Right now we launch 1 to 2 times a month. If we go to this new structure, I think what it'll allow our team to do is to go down to even just 6 launches a year, 6 big virtual launches a year, 1 big live event a year, 1 big tour. For us, that would be a light year. My team will probably feel like they're on vacation, okay? Because we launch 1 to 2 times a month and we do several in-person events. So that's number 2. Number 3 is scaling our advertising. We want to do 600K on ads this year, on Facebook ads. And I know that sounds like a lot to do 600K in 1 year when we've spent probably over the course of 2 years, our total ad spend since we've had our ad account, I could actually tell you guys that number too. So total, since we've had our ad account, we started running ads in 2021, $665,600 total. We want to do that in a year. Now, why do we want to do this? Because we realize, like on our last launch, I can give you guys these numbers. And for our mastermind, what's really cool about being in the Speak Get Ready Cash mastermind is, and if you want to apply, you all can comment apply, but we'd have to do a review. We don't do evergreen enrollment for our mastermind. So it's a process. But one of the cool things is, like, when I'm doing a launch for our mastermind, while the launch is going on, we have a Voxer group chat, which is just like a group walkie-talkie chat. And I am giving them play-by-play. Okay, y'all, this is how many sales we made today. This is what we're gonna do to push sales. And they can literally see it in real time. But I'm gonna give y'all a little taste, right? We run ads to a warm audience, meaning people who hit my Instagram account, they're on our email list, they see me on Facebook. I may or may not have their email address, just anyone who follows me anywhere on social media, right? We spent $3,800 on ads and we made $61,000 in cash, meaning, cash collected. Now, we track cash collected and future revenue, but because we don't do payment plans on some of our smaller offers, it was just all cash collected. In December, we did the Picture Ready Cash Challenge, spent $27,000 on ads, made $120,000 in cash collected. So what that tells me is what would have happened, this is how my brain works, what would have happened if I had spent $50,000 on ads? What would have happened? More people, it would have moved the numbers up. Now, will it move the numbers up dollar for dollar? No, that's typically not how it works. But will it have moved the numbers up? It should. Now, you have to manage your expenses, make sure your profit margins are there, make sure your team can handle it, make sure your tech can handle it, because our last webinar had 700 people live. So what I realized for the team is, like, if 700 people were live and we only spent $3,500 on ads and we ran this in less than 5 days, if we plan this out, we're gonna have thousands of people on Zoom. We use Zoom meetings. Zoom meeting can only hold 1,000 people. We're gonna have to go to another platform, but I love being able to see people's faces, having the Zoom backgrounds, making it an experience. So now we're looking at alternative platforms. So when we think about scaling our ad spend, we also have to think about, can our technology handle a scaled ad spend? How many people do we need to manage the chat? Are we gonna have to turn comments off? What does that look like, right? So those are the things that we're planning for now, because February we're hitting that, we're topping out over 1,000 people on the Zoom room for sure. That's my prediction. So show up, y'all, show up, okay? Number 4, organic marketing dominance. So we want to dominate on organic. Y'all are gonna see us grow this YouTube channel. Y'all are gonna see us put out more shorts. Y'all are gonna see us put out more content. You guys are gonna see us, I don't wanna say you're gonna see me do more live videos, because one of the reasons I love ads is because I get my time back. But you might see me do more live videos. But if I'm live, just show up, baby, because it ain't going to be all the time. So you may see more live videos, but you are going to see us put out more content, and you're going to see us increase the quality and consistency of our copywriting. You're going to see hyper segmentation on our email list, going all in on text message marketing, just some of the things that I know that you guys are going to see from us, because organic, we got to leverage the leads that come in. And so one of the ways that we can do that is by really nurturing our global audience organically. All of our launches, we have gotten a significant amount of people organic to register. So it's not just advertising that did this. And the proof is in the pudding, right? We spent $100K less on ads, which with our average cost per lead being $10 a lead, if we spend $100,000 less on ads divided by $10, that means we got 10,000 less leads this year. 10,000 less leads, okay? Now, let's just say I convert 3% of those leads into an offer. That's 300 less buyers for any slew of our offers. So the only way that we didn't make significantly less, right, is by increasing our organic efforts. So now I want to scale both at the same time. I want to increase our organic efforts while increasing our paid advertising efforts. And I want to increase the quality of what we're doing on all of our platforms. And I'm doubling down on YouTube. So shout out to my YouTube family. I'm gonna be here with y'all, okay? Every week, y'all gonna see a video. I want y'all to get 2 videos a week, but I can guarantee every Monday you're gonna see a video because we're planning these videos out way in advance to make sure that every week you are getting a video, okay? And so we're gonna increase our organic efforts. Okay, the last thing, we're already getting down to the wire. The last thing, strategy 5, is I am going to, this is a big part of my sales strategy. Strategic rest and personal excellence. What do I mean by that? Strategic rest looks like not just taking one sabbatical, but also taking a summer vacation. So what we do is I don't know if any of y'all, other people have this. I have kind of an addictive personality. So like I started playing tennis, but I didn't just play once a week. I played 5 times a week. I decided to start running. I didn't just be like, oh, I'm gonna just start running 2 times a week. I was like, I'm doing 100 days of running straight. I'm that kind of person. So sabbaticals work for me because it's like, okay, like what we did in 2024. We went on a sabbatical in January, 6 weeks. I ain't take no more vacations. I'm like, I already did all of my rest in 1 month, okay? So we off that now. So this year what we're doing is we're splitting our sabbatical. We didn't go as long this year on a sabbatical. We did 3 weeks instead of 6 weeks, and then we're gonna take another mini vacay in the middle of the summer and go somewhere. It may not be 3-4 weeks, maybe 5-10 days, and go. I'm thinking about Europe. We'll see, but we're gonna do something like that in the summer because Europe be cold in the winter, so I be thinking about temperatures because I don't like being cold. But we're gonna do strategic rest. Another is personal excellence in 3 areas. 1, my finances. I am getting a better handle on my finances. I'm increasing the amount of money I'm investing in the stock market, and we bought a bookkeeper in-house. So shout out to our bookkeeper. Woo woo. Number 2, my prayer life. I'm doubling down on my prayer life. I started reading a book called Fervent. The book is by Priscilla Shirer. She a beast. The book is so good. So I started reading that book. I'm doubling down on my strategic prayer life. I'm writing out my prayers. I want to get more disciplined in my walk with God. I've started a few devotionals. I have the Confident Woman's devotional, and then I have a devotional by John Bevere that deals with like fear or like overcoming fear. So those are some books that I'm doing like on the spiritual side. And I want to get involved in church. Like, I don't know what that looks like for me at this stage in my life, but I want to do something. Like, I want to get more involved in church again. Because y'all know Chris and I were ministers for several years. Maybe y'all don't know that. Because some of y'all don't even know me. So why did I say, okay, me and Chris used to be ministers for years. My story is I used to be a lawyer. I left my $300,000 job to build my own law firm, and then realized a lot of my clients needed me to help them with their offer development before we get to developing contracts with these corporations that they had speaking contracts with. They needed better offers. So we formed Speak Your Way to Cash to help with offer development business strategy, which falls outside of the legal realm. And yeah, so I'm a lawyer and a business strategist. But prior to all that, I was a minister. My dad's a pastor. Chris's dad is a pastor. So we did ministry for years. I mean, our life pretty much revolved around ministry the first 5 years of our marriage in a lot of ways. So even though we both had careers, we really coordinated the careers with ministry in some ways. And I think we got kind of burnt out on it, to be real. And so now we go to a church. It's a larger church, so it's different than when you go to a family church and it's like everybody and it's your dad's the pastor. You gonna be involved. Here, I need to make a choice to be involved and be strategic about what that involvement looks like. So that's something I want to do. And then health. I talked about health. I want to play tennis and get better. I want to win my first tennis match because I have not won a tennis match yet, even though I play competitively. So I want to win a tennis match. I want to drop some weight. I want to eat healthy all year. I've lost weight though, so that was a win from 2024. But yeah, I want to just get my whole life together. I want to have a better marriage, deeper love. I want to have more mommy-daughter dates with Christelle. I want to call some family members more. And for every moment of my life, I want to be present. I don't want to be somewhere, but then be somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be in the moment. I want to be present. I don't want as many intrusions. Like, I don't want as many things popping up on my phone. I want to be fully engulfed in every moment of this year. I want to be there for it. You know, I don't want to miss it. I feel like this year, this month, actually, I am speaking at Funnel Hacking Live, which is a big deal. Some people even say that I'm like, someone came up to me and they was like, "Are you the first sister to speak at Funnel Hacking Live?" And I was like, let me find out I'm making history in Black History Month. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but you know how we are, y'all. But, you know, maybe, right? So like, I'm doing that. I am also speaking at another big conference that I just got asked to speak at. It's not public yet, so I can't announce it. But I'm gonna have a lot of opportunities that are, and I'm saying this before they happen, so you all will get to come back and watch this, but I'm gonna have opportunities, this is my prediction, in 2025 that I have wanted for a really long time. We are going to make more money this year than we've ever made in business. And we are going to help more people this year than we've ever been able to help. And it is going to be the best year for our clients, for ourselves, for our staff. And we are going to grow in a way that is profitable. We were at 20% profit margins this year, which was way more than the previous years. And one of the things I want to do is I want to keep that profit margin as we grow, and I want to grow it. I just feel like this year is going to be a year of peace and prosperity. And it's going to be a year where I step into a version of myself that I have not even met or seen yet. Like, I was telling people, I was like, yeah, I'm about to step it up this year. And they're like, step it up, you're always on fire. And I was like, no, I have a personal best, right? So what y'all see is what y'all see. Y'all be like, man, 2 million, that's good. No, I know that I have not even scratched the surface of my potential. And with me being happier, freer, lighter, it's just up. Like, it's up in such a way I can't even describe. And Speak Your Way to Cash Live this year is in October. And you can go to speakyourwaytocashlive.com to get tickets. But Speak Your Way to Cash Live is our annual event. It's our flagship event. It's the event that started this company. And it started with 10 people in a conference room. This year, I am going to 10x Speak Your Way to Cash Live. I was going to say I want to, but I was like, I'm going to speak it into existence and work it into fruition, okay? I'm going to speak it into existence and work it into fruition. But I'm going to 10x that event, okay? We are going to have 1,000, I feel so nervous saying going to, but like, we out here. We're going to have 1,000 people register for Speak Your Way to Cash Live. And that is going to be everything. That's what I desire. I desire to have 1,000 people register for Speak Your Way to Cash Live. I'm going to work for it. I'm going to pray on it. Obviously, God's will be done, but I'm going to work. God's will be done. And he ain't told me it ain't going to happen. So I'm going to work towards it. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a big thing. I think looking out into that conference room and seeing all those experts there and us having the times of our lives and learning how to grow our companies and having our largest mastermind enrollment, I see that for this year too, of the right people. Because we've had large enrollments and it was not of the right people in totality. It was, it's good people and everything, but I think that your personal insecurities, I'll speak for me. Sometimes my personal insecurities come out in the way that I market. And if I'm not careful, I will misrepresent who I am in my client's life. I'm your coach. A coach is supposed to push you, hold you accountable, call you out when you're playing small, hold you accountable for anything in your scope that can impede your success. For me, that may include character. That may include when you're playing small, you're not believing in yourself. That may include when you need to call your confidence up. There were times, y'all, where we got the wrong clients because I was just acting like I was their friend and not their coach. And nobody pays me the kind of money that I charge to be their friend. They need someone to push them. And so I was just very clear this year that I am in your life to push you to your goals. That push sometimes may feel great. That push sometimes may feel unwanted. But if you give me permission to push you, I'm going to push you, baby girl. And so I just have more confidence now where if I feel disrespected or I don't feel right about something, I can call it. There were people who tried to join this mastermind this year and I did not let them join. Because I don't got to learn a lesson twice. I can now identify earlier when someone is not a good fit. It is not all about the money for this company. It's a family business. So if we take on disrespectful clients, clients that steal intellectual property, and let me be clear, if you steal intellectual property, you're a thief. If you come in, learn what I teach, and then go out and regurgitate my frameworks as if you learned them by trial and error, you're a thief. If you go out and do those things, it is theft of intellectual property. Now, I'm a lawyer, so to me, I don't see it any differently than you stealing something from my home. It's you going inside of my brain, stealing my intellectual property. The only difference is I still have it too. You know what I mean? So if you steal this pillow, you got the pillow. You steal my intellectual property, I still got it too. But it's still theft because it was not yours. And, when people do that, and here's where I made a mistake. There was someone who came into our program and she seemed cool with me, but I had heard that she was stealing stuff from other people. And because she had been a client for a while, I was like, oh, well, she did that, but, she probably didn't, whatever. Come to find out, she on her webinar doing my pitch. My pitch. Now, my coach who works for me is on the webinar to support her. She didn't know the coach was going to show up. She was just there to support her because that's what we do because we're supportive. She hears this girl doing my pitch. Just a thief. Now, she's been a client for a while, so they talked about it and she apologized and whatever. So he was like, oh, that's probably good. No, it's not good. I should have removed her. It doesn't mean I can't respect the work relationship that we had and still be cool, but if you're a thief, you got to go work that out somewhere else. You know what I mean? That's not for me. So it's things like that is what makes me say we didn't always have the best clients. It's and she wasn't the only one. Because a lot of people, and I want you all, I say this not to say she's a bad person. I'm not going to blast her and put her name out there. I could, but I'm just kidding. I'm not. Y'all better be glad that I got a list. I don't go there, right? I'm not going to do it. But I say that because when you identify something in a client that is not right, one, bring it up directly. Two, depending on what it is, just remove them, right? You need to have boundaries and all of that. And we gave second chances and it didn't work. She's continued to be a thief to this day. I hear she's still thieving, right? Someone just told me a couple months ago, that lady, oh, I heard what she was teaching. It sounded just like your book. Still thieving, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I should have just called it out from the beginning. And I think everyone just needs to have boundaries. Everyone needs to have really clear guidelines about what they are and aren't going to tolerate. I'm nice. I'm not a punk. Let's be clear. I ain't never ran from a fight, okay? And y'all know me now. Y'all don't know what I've been through. I'm a fighter. So I don't think there's anything wrong with setting up those boundaries. I'm very comfortable and confident in who I am, so much so that I'm okay with making someone upset by removing their access to me. I'm okay with saying no to money that looks like good money. I'm okay with if my spirit tells me that you are evil or that you have evil intentions at that time. Because I don't want to say that person is evil. I know we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. It could be something working on inside of them. It could be something situational, whatever it is. If my spirit is saying, abort, I'm aborting, okay? I'm out of there. I'm out of there. And let me just help some of you people pleasers out. Everyone does not deserve a conversation before you say goodbye. It is what it is. We're in business. If you buy a $2 thing from me and, you're unhappy with it and you want me to call you, I'm not calling you. I'm gonna just be honest with you. That's just, we have a process for that. We have a system for how that works. There are some people based on the relationship you need to have a conversation with. There are other people that you may try to have a conversation with and they don't want to have a conversation with you. It is not your job to keep going back, knocking on doors, trying to reopen them. Me being healed, whole, and happy has nothing to do with me now being willing to it does not mean I'm about to waste my time because time is the most valuable asset I have on this earth. Some people are redeemable and I can work with them and they could come back and all that stuff. Other people, it's a no from me, dog, and that's okay. I can still pray for them and wish them well and wish them the best. So I think I'm not saying that I'm cutting a lot of people off in 2025. I feel like I got rid of a lot of people in Q4 of 2023, and it's been such a huge blessing to my life because it's welcomed new relationships into my life. And praise God, I still have so many relationships that I've had for decades, friendships who've been down forever, people that I've loved forever, that I see being in my life forever. But if you do got to cut someone off, don't be scared. a lot of the times I didn't cut people off when I knew that their season was up because I was scared of being alone. Now I'm married, but as a woman, I love having girlfriends. Like I really value, I'm a girl's girl. I love having my girlfriend. So I was scared of like, dang, I've been with this person so long. They're my friend. I talk to them every day. I don't want to like let them go. But sometimes you'll feel a nudge to let someone go. Let it go. Sometimes you'll feel a nudge to pivot in your business. Pivot in your business. Sometimes you'll feel a nudge to do a launch and it seems crazy and the idea doesn't make sense. Like with Black Women Sell Live, that big commercial, do it. For me, I learned that I needed to build my confidence so that when I had to make tough decisions, I wasn't first thinking about the people how people would respond to me out of a people-pleasing nature. I was thinking about what does God require of me in this season? And let me help some of you guys out. I really believe that 2025 is the year where we are gonna mentor and strategize and be hired by a ton of influential leaders. It's already started. So one of the things that God had me study was the principle of the fear of man. And how there's there's a verse in Psalms that says, the fear of man is like a snare. The fear of man is like a snare. What a snare is, it's like a little trap. And one of the things that I got from that was if you are using a snare and it's a trap that's supposed to blend in with the environment. And I had ChatGPT, because me and Chat be doing Bible study together. So I had ChatGPT I gave it the scripture and I was like, give me a picture of what a snare would look like in that time. It gave me this visualization. And what it said is that if the person or if the animal that the snare is trying to entrap is very strong, then the goal of the snare is to kill it or severely harm it. But if the animal isn't as powerful, then the goal of the snare is just to like catch it by its toe or by its leg. There are some of us that have a lot of power attached to our assignment. And so the attacks that come against you won't be easily visible. They are meant to cripple you because of your power. So if in 2024 you went through a lot and you didn't see it coming, that's because snares are sneaky. One of the reasons why I was reading the book Fervent is because in the book Fervent, she talks about putting on the whole armor of God. And she says that the way that we become conscious, and the Bible says this too, y'all, but I was reading it in Priscilla's voice. But the way that we become conscious of the attacks of the enemies, of the wiles of the spiritual world, is by praying. So I have to increase my prayer life so that I can increase my spiritual sight so that when traps and deception comes, because the devil ain't even that powerful, he works in deception. It ain't like he using, like he's using deceptive tools. So if we're not conscious of what's going on in the spiritual world, and I'm only conscious of what's happening in the natural world, of course I'm gonna have traps. Of course I didn't see it coming. Of course I didn't see the jealousy coming. Of course I didn't see the envy building. Like, for what I'm walking into in 2025, you guys, like, I have to increase my spiritual sight so that I can know what I'm up against. Like, I need to be able to see the deceptions. I need to be able to see the betrayals. I need to be able to see it coming. And even then, I may not see it, but at least if I'm in my prayer closet, I'll have a strategy pretty quickly in how to deal with it. I'll have a system for dealing with the emotional burdens of this world, a system that is strong enough to bear anything that the enemy throws our way, right? And I just feel like there may be some of you watching this, because this was not actually planned, this was not in my notes. There may be some of you all watching this who felt like 2024 really knocked you down, and I want you to know that if you got some tough battles, it's because you're a strong soldier. And the truth of the matter is, you gotta increase your spiritual sight, your spiritual vigilance, and use your spiritual tools, as well as the practical things that we talk about on this channel. I want you guys to read some spiritual books in 2024. Read the Bible, right? Read the Bible. Supplementary books, John Bevere is great. I really like Priscilla Shire. I love a study Bible, right? Get a study Bible. There's the Bible app. It's free, I believe. Like, there's so many things that you can do, but while you're taking care of the natural things to grow your business, what has been challenged most as I scale is the character element of it. How do you deal not with people that love you? How do you deal with people that do you wrong? How do you deal not with team members that are doing great? How do you deal with team members that aren't doing great? How do you coach them? How do you speak to them? What's your tone? These are things that I've had to work on, right? How do you deal with friends who love you, but they get jealous? because you're growing faster than them? How do you have the conversation? Do you have the conversation? What's your process for dealing with betrayal? It's not, oh, my circle's great. Of course they're great at this level. Keep growing. Circles get rocky. Circles get rocky, okay? Like, you may have your core, but how do you deal when it comes? How do you deal with your partner and your spouse and all the emotions they have? Because you may be the visionary. You may be the one who's growing and growing and growing. They didn't sign up for that. I married Chris at 22. He didn't sign up to be married to this boss lady CEO. I did tell him I was gonna be this, but I guess I don't know what he thought. But I definitely told him on our first date who I was and who I was gonna be. But he didn't sign up for this. When we met, I was ditching work to go on dates with him. Like, it was all about him, okay? 100% about Chris. So he didn't sign up for this. So your family didn't sign up for this. They know you as Pookie. They know you as Pooh. They know you as whatever you are. As you grow, how are you gonna deal with their emotions? You know what I mean? The best thing I heard from Issa Rae, I had a chance to have a conversation with Issa Rae. It was a group conversation. I ain't acting like me and Issa was kicking it. But Issa, if you watching, girl, let me know. But it was a group conversation, private, a group of 7-figure Black business owners and Issa Rae. And I don't remember if I asked her this question, but it was either me or someone else in our private group asked her a question about what would she do differently. And what she said was so profound and it stuck with me. Ooh, it stuck with me, y'all. She said she wishes she would have done a better job of communicating to the people that she loved that she wanted them alongside her as she grew. And she wishes she would have done a better job of communicating to those people who could no longer be as close, that she loved them, but the relationship would change. And she was like, you need to over communicate it because as you grow, people self-select out because they think you're too busy. They think you're too successful. They think you don't have time for them. And so as I plan for exponential growth, that can't just be a plan for my revenue. It has to be a plan for exponential growth in my health, in my spirit, in my character, in my marriage, in my family, because the people I know I want to come with me, my family, my husband, my daughter, I want us to do this together. And so I have to over communicate to them what it looks like in every season and get more mature in my communication style. So this video was longer than I wanted it to be, but I hope y'all got something good out of it. Look, come to the Your First Corporate Offer Summit. You guys, I don't know what the, I'm gonna put the link in the comments so that you guys get it, because I don't wanna give you guys the wrong link in case the team changes it. But make sure that y'all come and show out and make sure that y'all are there. We're gonna build your 25K corporate offer in a day. Day 2, we're gonna clarify what you should put in your offer. Get a platinum ticket. I think it's like $247 maybe. Or you can get a free ticket if you just wanna come for free. But I'm telling you, everyone who does platinum, they get to ask me questions during the event. And if you can just ask one question during that event, it could change your whole business. And I've stayed on there for hours to make sure I answer people's questions. So get a platinum ticket. We cut it off at a certain amount just so that I'm not on there for days and days and days. So get one of the few platinum tickets that we offer. And then I'll see y'all there. But I hope y'all got something out of this. If you did, let me know, because I kind of gave y'all a lot. If you got something from this and if it was valuable to you. But I am praying for a prosperous, peaceful, restorative 2025. 2024 is over. May have taken some L's. May have had a lot of wins. If you came out on top on 2024, I want you to go even higher in 2025. And I'm also praying for everyone who's hurting and who's like, this is your healing year. I am with you. Do what you need to do. You can slow, but you don't need to stop, okay? So I love y'all. Hopefully this was good, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
Yeah. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. I need energy, need only good people that's around me. All the faith you can give, that's the rest.